Welcome to Cord Cutting Today for March 22nd, 2019. This is the show where I give you a quick look at some of the biggest stories happening in the world of cord cutting right now. If you want to learn more about these stories, in the show notes down below, I'll put a link to each story so you can read about them for yourself. Come up with your own opinions. Let me know what you think I got right, wrong, or what I should have included. I'll love to hear from you. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up. It really does help us. Hopefully we can help you break free from the high cost of cable TV and still watch the shows you enjoy with weekly cord cutting Q&As, news briefs, reviews, guides, and more, all about the world of cord cutting here and over our website, cordcuttersnews.com. All right, let's jump into the news. First up, TCL has their very first ever sale on their 6 series 75-inch Roku TVs. So back in January, they announced the new larger 75-inch version of their popular 6 series line of TVs. We earlier named the 65 and the 55-inch TCL 6 Series TVs, the best TVs under $1,000. Now they have a sale for $300 off of the 75-inch version of this. I know a lot of people were complaining that they wanted a larger version of the Roku TVs. Well, now you have an option, and it's on sale for the first time only at Best Buy and BestBuy.com. I'll put a link to it down in the show notes. Check it out. It is a very good 75-inch TV. It is pricey, as are most 75 and larger inch TVs. Hopefully, as the bigger panels become more available, the 75 inches will continue to come down in price in the same way the 55 inches and the 65 inches did a few years ago. All right, next news story. Tablow's new quad DVR, which is a 4-tuner version of the popular cord cutting antenna DVR, just received FCC approval. Now, if you followed us a few weeks ago, I posted a full review. We have an early review unit sitting in the lab right now. I really am impressed with it. A few things that make it stand out beside the things like the slightly improved design, better Wi-Fi, and other features is now the ability to have an internal hard drive of your choice. In the past with Tablo, you either had to use the hard drive that was built into it, which many people thought was too small, or you had to use an external hard drive. Well, now you'll be able to go and buy an internal hard drive and add it. You want a cheap few hundred gigabyte hard drive? You can do that. You want to buy several terabytes and record a lot and have it all built into one device? You can do just that too. That's a nice thing about the new quad. Not only does it record up to 4 shows at once instead of 2, it will also allow you to easily add in internal storage. So check it out. Now that it has FCC approval, they're still saying it will come out this month for $200 US. So hopefully next week we'll see this in stores somewhere online or in physical branches. Next up, T-Mobile has extended their deal with MLB.TV. Now, we've heard for a while that they were this year going once again for T-Mobile subscribers give away free MLB.TV, allow you to watch out-of-market MLB games for free, but that their contract was coming to an end. So next year was in doubt. Well, T-Mobile and Major League Baseball have announced that T-Mobile will continue their sponsorship of Major League Baseball and continue to offer MLB.TV to their subscribers for years to come. So good news. Now, if you want to get it this year, next week they will have this deal go live. So keep an eye over at cordcuttersnews.com. I will post. You need the special T-Mobile Tuesday app to get access to this deal and get free MLB TV this year. But we'll post it when it goes live. So check out cordcuttersnews.com and keep an eye on that for deals like that and others. All right, Netflix is expanding their ad business, and you're probably already saying, Luke, Netflix doesn't have ads. They're an ad-free service, right? Well, that's not fully true. So Netflix does have a very aggressive ad program. If you ever watched a show and noticed that pretty much every car in the show is Ford, or maybe, hey, they just went to Burger King and KFC or other real-life places, those are typically paid advertisements where KFC or Ford or GM will pay a TV show to use their products and prominently feature them. That's why you'll notice everybody's cups are perfectly aligned with that Burger King logo facing right at you. Now, Netflix wants to dramatically expand this program and expand their licensing of their characters to other companies. If you ever noticed maybe a Stranger Things sponsored lunchbox or a Stranger Things sponsored commercial for another TV show, so check that out. There is a lot of things like that probably going to be in the works. or word is that Netflix is charging as much as $1 million for that kind of branding right now. So you'll probably start seeing as Netflix tries to find more revenue to continue their push into original content to fight off new competitors. Instead of raising prices, it seems like they have decided to really push the idea that they can do product placements and license their characters out to other companies. So keep an eye on that. I'd love to know though, do you even notice? Have you ever even noticed that, hey, Stranger Things ate at KFC, I'm gonna go to KFC? Is that something you notice? Is that something that's important to you? Is that something that bothers you? Leave me a comment. I'd love to know what you think of Netflix's product placement plans. All right, next up, Zoom, the free streaming service that offers both linear channels and on-demand content, added 3 new channels, the 11 Sports Channel, Combat Go, and Gusto TV to their lineup. Again, though, if I could say one thing about this is if you tried these free streaming services, whether it be the Zoom XUMO, the Pluto TVs, the Sony Crackles, the Tubies, etc., and you discarded them, didn't like the content they were offering, highly recommend you check them out again. And I'd love to know from you, what is the best free legal streaming service you would recommend? Is it Pluto? Is it Zoom? Is it the Roku channel? Tubi? Crackle? I'll love to hear from you. Leave me a comment. All right, maybe it was one of the most interesting stories of the day yesterday that came out around lunchtime was that Comcast is launching a $5 a month, what they're calling streaming service, I call a streaming player, to target cord cutters. If you're a Comcast Internet subscriber through their Xfinity or any of their home services, you can now basically rent a streaming player, which sounds a lot like a Roku, but it's a stripped down version of their cable box for $5 a month. Now, with this, you don't get anything special. It gives you access to apps like you'd get on the Fire TV or Roku or Apple TV, YouTube, Tubi, Pluto TV, and others through your Comcast streaming player. You will be able to, through the player, subscribe to the Comcast TV bundles if you would so choose to stream them. And you also, if you subscribe to other platforms like Netflix, Amazon, Hulu, etc., you'll also be able to sign in and use that. But that $5 a month fee basically just gets you access to their streaming player. It is nothing. There's no service to this so-called streaming service. All it's doing is taking apps like the ones you see behind me on my Fire TV here and putting it on the Comcast cable box, taking out the cable tuner and renting it to you for $5 a month. It really seems like an attempt by Comcast to continue their cable TV model of charging you for device rentals to their cord cutters. And to me, it just shows how Comcast just doesn't understand cord cutting. The worst part of these devices is they don't have many apps. Your Rokus, your Fire TVs, your Apple TVs have so many more apps. For example, there's no English US live TV streaming service. Sling is on it, but only for Sling International, for international packages. If you want ESPN and so forth, you won't be able to use YouTube TV or DirecTV Now, Hulu Live, etc. You will only be able to use the Comcast version of it. So for $30 you could buy a cheap Roku that sounds very similar to what Comcast is going to be offering and own it without a monthly fee and access all the same content. Or you could pay $60 a year through this streaming player. It just doesn't feel like a good business plan. It doesn't feel like Comcast really understands cord cutting. It feels a lot like Comcast is just hoping that they'll capture people who don't know better, right? Two markets, I think they're trying to target people who absolutely love the Comcast Xfinity One system and people who probably just don't know better. They don't know that they could do the exact same thing and more with a Fire TV, Roku, or Apple TV. And they're really counting on you to just fork over the money because they can try to upsell it to you when you cancel to go streaming only. So, love to know what you think though. What do you think of Comcast plan? Do you think they have any hope? Do you disagree with me? Do you think it's very smart that there's something here I'm not seeing? Again, links in the show notes if you want to read about them more yourself. But to me, when I look at this Comcast Flex service for the Xfinity Flex, I just don't see any benefit to it, to be honest with you. And when they did their call with the press, no one else seemed to be very understanding of what Comcast was doing, to be honest with you. So leave me a comment. I'll love to hear from you and what you think. Are you a Comcast Internet subscriber? Will you be trying out their Flex service for $5 a month to rent basically a Roku? let me know. I'll love to hear from you. But hey, if you're new here again, hey, huge thank you. We recently just topped 58,000. We're already well on our way to 59,000. We'll see if we can hit 60,000 by the end of this month. It'll be tight. That's reaching a little bit, I think, but I think there's a slight outside the ballpark chance we could hit it. But I wanted to say thank you for your support. Core Cars News has had huge growth in the last month, setting all kinds of records, not only here on our YouTube channel, but also over at corecarsnews.com, where we're seeing record growth. If you're not following us there, all the news stories I covered today came from corecarsnews.com, and there's even more over there that I didn't talk about here. More deals, news stories, and more, all about the world of cord cutting, streaming media, over-the-air TV, and more. So check us out, and hey, thank you. I really appreciate your support. We couldn't do this without you. If no one was watching, nothing we do here would really matter. So thank you. I appreciate your support. We'll be back tomorrow with our weekly recap, and our daily recaps will be back on Sunday. So I'll see you there. Have a fantastic weekend, a great Friday, and take care, everybody.